Good morning. Welcome to a Monday morning. It is that time of the week. It is Monday. A fresh week stretches before you. A canvas waiting for the masterpiece of your creation. We are ditching the Blue Monday vibes and embracing the potential that this new chapter holds. So we're going to start with a little bit of fun first. Saladin, good morning. Happy Monday morning to you. Good to see you. Sunmuddy, good morning. Happy Monday. And Anthony, good morning. Happy Monday morning. Danae, hello. Good morning. It's awesome having you all here. I really love Sweatpants and Coffee's Monday morning motivations. You must have seen them. It's these cute little kind of square, squiggly drawings that have cool messages on them. Shabs, good morning. Happy Monday to you. We'll start this week with a Sweatpants and Coffee quote, just for fun. And perhaps if I remember, I'll do this more often on a Monday morning. I love this. So here we go. She says, "For the week ahead, may you practice patience, forgiveness, or failing that, silence." I think just that is a great reminder for us already. Linda, good morning. Happy Monday. "For the week ahead, may you practice patience, forgiveness, or failing that, silence. May you ignore nonsense and provocation. May your coffee, your resolve, and your Wi-Fi be strong, and may you face your challenges with humor, grace, and chocolate when necessary. And always may you notice the small moments of beauty." Charlene, good morning. Happy Monday to you. This week, we won't be focusing on just one teacher's work, but casting the net wide to include a good collection of wisdom. And for this Monday morning, we start with a thought from Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is by creating it." What does this practically mean, though? How is it that we create our future? How do we translate this grand idea into the nitty-gritty of our daily lives? How do we become the authors of our own futures, one Monday morning at a time? Mahatma Gandhi had a great answer for this. He said, "The future depends on what you do today." The future depends on what you do today. It really is that simple. Pema Chodron says, "The future is completely open and we are writing it moment to moment." What we do in every moment is what creates our future. So how do we ensure that our paths lead where we truly want to go? While we are looking forward towards creating our future, we have to understand how easy it is to continually repeat the past. In every moment that an old program, an old pattern decides the action that we take, we will continue to recreate the past. I want to pause on that for a moment as well, because we're looking into the future. How do I create my future? I think the biggest thing to understand is how easy it is for us to continue recreating our past and to get better at not doing that. In every moment that an old program, an old pattern decides the action we take, we will continue to recreate the past. But in every moment that we recognize the old reaction, when we have awareness of the old reaction wanting to do its thing, and then we choose a new response, that is how we create our future. Your willingness to encounter every moment with awareness, breaking free from the compulsion to act in an old way, and sincerely ask the question, what does this moment require from me? Apart from my past programming, what does this moment ask me to step up and do? This is how you are creating your future, moment by moment. So if you're ready, let's close our eyes and and slip away on today's journey together. We'll start with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. I love using the start of the week as a very specific reminder. So while you continue your full body breathing, rising, and also falling, we'll have this quick conversation. I want to remind you of exactly what you're doing right now. You're taking the moment to stop for a few conscious, slow, deep breaths. You are taking your body by the hand and you are saying to your body, "This is how I want us to do this." And this speaks perfectly into the theme of today's meditation. If I want to become better at being the author of my future, of creating my future, then it is important to understand how perhaps I have been recreating my past. And the simple truth is, We recreate our past every time that an old pattern, an old reaction, old programming is allowed to make our decisions for us. Every time our decisions are made by an old pattern, we stay trapped in the past, recreating it again and again. But in this moment, and in every moment that you stop, turn away from whatever it is that needs your attention, and for a moment, breathe. Breathe deep into your belly. Rise with every inhale. Fall with every exhale. Every time you do this before you act, you afford yourself the opportunity to see the old pattern, to feel how the old pattern wants to react in the old way. Almost always out of fear. And if it feels like you are unable to act any differently, then breathe some more. Take another few big breaths. Until you can see a new response, a new way of acting to the same old fear. And if you don't see the new way of acting yet, take a few more big breaths. Soften your body. Feel yourself. Surrender to yourself. And once you see the new way of acting, the new response, take that one and thank the space that your breathing has given you to find this new response. This is how we create a new future, one day at a time. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel softness slip in and settle in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. Sorry, we are still paying attention to our breathing. I skipped ahead. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And then as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see yourself standing at the start of a new week. Your toes are sticking over the edge and you are ready to dive in. Take your next big breath. We're going to use this time to look into the week ahead and be intentional about the kind of week we want to have. We'll start with reminding ourselves what is known about the week ahead, what is already in the calendar. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, I want you to walk yourself through the week ahead. Walk through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and remind yourself of what lies ahead. What are some of the things that you need to get done? What are some of the places you need to go? What are some of the people you need to see this week? See if you can give your mind a clear picture of what lies ahead this week as you take your next big breath. What are you creating this week? I want you to open your mind to all the possibilities of creating. Please don't get stuck only on things work-related. And if that's what's number one on your mind, some project at work, that's great. But you don't have to restrict yourself to that kind of creating. Everything we do is an act of creation. Every conversation you have, any interaction you have, is an act of creation. The big things, but also the really small things. How are you showing up this week? We can call them goals. We can call it an intention. What are you creating this week? And if the answer is not clear to you, then ask the question. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask yourself, what am I creating this week? And see what arises. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to transport yourself to the end of the next week. And if you had a checklist for the end of the week, what would that look like? What are things you'd like to check off that list? I got this done, I got that done. And what are perhaps things for which you'd want to say, I got started on this one, and I made progress on that one. What would your checklist look like when you reach the end of the week? Take your next big breath. The theme of today's meditation for the start of our week is being the author of my own future, creating my future, and realizing that how I do that is by paying attention to every moment, being present in every moment is what gives me the agency to create my future. And understand that more often than not, the obstacle that is in our way is how we react from an old program, from an old pattern, react. And instead of creating a new future, we often recreate the past again and again. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, I want you to try and have this conversation with yourself as you dive deep inside. I will take back my power. I will not keep reacting in the same old way. I will choose a new way to respond. It doesn't have to be those words, but have that conversation with yourself. I will take back my power. I will not react in the same old way. I will choose a new way to respond. Take your next big breath. search back in the last week, last couple of weeks, to a moment where you were really triggered. Something that is one of those typical examples to which we react, or perhaps even overreact. Find a recent example, and if it's not recent, search back further. A moment of being triggered, a moment of being reactive. And we'll do a little bit of very simple rehearsing. If that same example were to play itself out again, or anything similar, I want you to rehearse in your mind, see yourself in the same situation, the very triggering situation, and see yourself stop and breathe. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, watch yourself take your power back as, in a moment of being triggered, you breathe and you don't react. Take your next big breath. We're still rehearsing. Then before you act, before you decide what to do about this trigger, ask yourself, is this the same old reaction? Am I about to act in the same old way? Take your next big breath and rehearse this. See yourself ready to act and ask yourself, is this the same old reaction? Take your next big breath. And if you find yourself not able to act in a new way, if you feel that the only way you could do this is reacting in the old way, then you need more breathing. Walk away. Don't take action now. Take a few more big breaths until you can see it. Until you can see the new way to respond. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together. slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you these quotes from this morning again. First is from Abraham Lincoln. He says, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." And that perhaps poses a question: how do we create the future? To which Mahatma Gandhi and Pema Chodron has great answers. Gandhi says, "The future depends on what you do today." And Pema Chodron says, "The future is completely open and we are writing it moment to moment." And this is what creating our future comes down to. How do I show up in every moment? And when the moment shows up, do I repeat the past? When the moment shows up, am I reacting in the same old way? Because that's not creating a new future. That is just repeating the past. You are getting better at this. You are getting better at creating an inner spaciousness. A space that knows yourself and trusts yourself and understands that there are very few things that need you to jump on it. Most things can take a minute before you get back to it. Viktor Frankl called it the space between stimulus and response. He said, in that space, the space in which we take the time to figure out, how do I want to do this? How do I want to respond to this? He says that space is where your freedom lies. That space is what gives you free will. You are getting better at this. You're taking your power back. You're not always just acting from an old pattern anymore. More often than not, you're taking the time to choose a response in wisdom, creating your future one moment at a time. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in Thank you for the privilege of standing at the start of a new week. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the time to look into the week ahead and decide what I want my week to be. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for a moment to practice, to rehearse how I want to step into this week, because even if I am super intentional about my week, there's likely to be stumbling blocks, obstacles that show up in a way that I might not have intended. And then my job is to remember to be present when the unknown shows up. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for a moment of practice. Practicing how I want to be present, how I want to have awareness, how I want to realize when I'm acting from an old pattern, and use that moment to choose a response in wisdom. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on this journey with us. Thank you for jumping off into a new week with us. Anne-Marie, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to a new week. Vivian, good morning. Thank you for jumping into the week with us. Colette, hello. Welcome to a new week. Awesome having you here. Alistair, it's good to see you pop in, dude. I hope you were able to sit down with us for a while. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Shabs. Thank you. There are pictures that I almost recognize. I just can't quite remember who the picture is. Have an awesome week. We'll see you again soon. Ciao, ciao.